CACRAO, are you guys here?
Yes.
Okay. Can you see our video that we're sharing currently?
Yes, I was seeing it. I was trying to talk to you. I don't know if y'all are hearing me, but
Okay.
It's live now. Welcome, participants. If you have any questions that you need to ask, make sure you do it at the Q&A at the bottom. The panelists will get to it throughout the presentation. Make sure your camera and your microphones are off. You're muted. They won't be able to hear you. But like I said, if you have any questions, make sure you use the Q&A section. You can visit the CACRAO website at www.cacrao.org. So you'll be able to sign up for more sessions. And then also this recording will be available on the CACRAO website as well. But yeah, thank you for coming to the session, and I will let Anderson University take it from here.
Thank you. And at any time that you are not seeing or hearing our videos, if you guys will please let us know. Welcome, students and families. We're so excited to have you guys join us on our Anderson University virtual tour. We're going to spend the next 45 minutes with you all talking about who we are as an institution, some insight on our admission process and application requirements, scholarships, some different activities on campus, athletics, and then answer any questions that you all might have. So first, I want to start. My name is William Montz. I serve as Director for Traditional Admission. Let's see if I can get my slides working here. Perfect. So already talked a little bit about the agenda. We'll be joined tonight by our Associate Director of Admission, Lucas Moore, and then our Assistant Director of Admission, Beth Beckner. First, I want to tell you a little bit about Anderson University and who we are as an institution. As I said, also things that I think that you would experience if this is where you choose to come to school. And I'm going to spend a little time going through our 4 pillars. And the first one is great academics. At Anderson, we do believe that we do provide a very rich, rigorous, yet challenging academic experience. We continue to attract best and brightest students throughout the state, region, nationally, and even globally, while not compromising who we are as a faith-based institution. We've been uniquely blessed in that, we feel. Recent article in Princeton Review talked about Anderson and selected us as a best college in the Southeast. And they said that that was primarily because of our academics. And so it's nice to know that even secular publications out there are recognizing Anderson for our academics. Let me also, before I go any further, just remind you guys that, let's see, I'm hearing that the presentation's not showing. Give me 1 second. Are you guys seeing that? Give me 1 second, y'all. Let's see if this will do it. Hey, there we go. All right, great academics. Sorry about the technical difficulties. If you guys have any questions or anything, we do have staff available that are here to answer your questions as we go through this presentation. A couple recent awards and recognitions that Anderson has received. Best Regional University, one of the most innovation, and then a Best Undergraduate Teaching Institution. Here at Anderson, you will not be being taught by graduate assistants or teaching assistants. You'll always be being taught by the full-time faculty within that field. About 65% of our faculty and staff have their terminal degree, so either their EDD or their PhD within their degree. See some other recognitions there. One of Best Value. I'll touch on that for just a minute, but Anderson has continued to receive a Best Value recognition for quite some time, and we really do take great pride in that. And Best Value is really looking at what you get for what you pay. And we feel that there is a lot to that. So students, as you're going through this process, each one of you will have different aspects about college that are more important to you than possibly even your friends. And so hopefully whatever institution you end up going to, you'll consider a best value institution. Anderson was selected as number 27th in most student engagement. And this is a recognition from the Wall Street Journal, and that was out of 800 institutions. And I love this for a couple reasons, but one, it shows that we are attracting a student who is hoping to get involved and wants to be engaged in college, probably appreciates more of a traditional face-to-face type experience, but also that there are things to do on this campus. And let me just tell you, there are. Students would not recognize us so highly as being able to be engaged if we didn't have a lot going on campus. Every Monday, a 411 goes out to talk about the different activities that we have going on. We've been selected as an Apple Distinguished School, and you can see there Anderson has been selected the only school in the state of South Carolina to receive this award 3 times. But Apple is basically looking at how institutions are implementing technology and thinking innovatively about their approach. And we are doing this and very proud to be considered an Apple Distinguished School. You can see one of the mobile learning initiatives there at the bottom of the screen, but every student, incoming freshman or first-time transfer, does receive the latest, greatest iPad of whatever that year, whatever it is for that upcoming year. So you can look forward to that. Great hospitality. That's the second pillar of Anderson University. And we do feel that Anderson is a very welcoming institution, and feel that our students really have a spirit about them of welcoming others to our campus, as well as just even throughout campus with their peers and colleagues. Hospitality extends into the classroom. Our faculty-student ratio is 16:1, and just some of the most intentional faculty that I've ever been around that really do care about you all as students, what your dreams are, your hopes, your goals, and they'll get to know you. They want to know how they can help you, but very intentional faculty. Of course, hospitality extends even to the grounds and the facilities and buildings here at Anderson University. We always keep those well maintained, and know that that's an important part that you might not think about all the time. But it does create a sense as you're walking around this institution that you're getting a quality education. And so our maintenance crew, they do a phenomenal job of keeping Anderson looking nice. Third pillar is great purpose. And as much as we want you to figure out what that major is and go have successful careers, as a Christian institution, we believe that each one of you are called, have a calling on your life from God. And we are invested in trying to help you figure out what that purpose looks like for you all as you're here in college. A couple different programs that I want to mention in regards to our Center for Career Development is this one is AU Pro. And so basically Anderson has taken all that you might do in that last semester going towards your senior year as you're preparing for jobs and expanded that in a 4-year time frame. And so as soon as you get here as a freshman, you'll start looking at resume building and mock interviews, social media branding, all of these things that are going to hopefully help you get the job that you're going for. We know that we'll prepare you academically, but we want to make sure we're coming alongside as well and working on soft skills as you're going to job interviews and things like that. Another initiative is our Ron Blue Center, and we are a Ron Blue Institute. Ron Blue has been partnering with institutions throughout the country to provide financial guidance to students. And so once again, as part of your 4-year time here at Anderson, you will be attending sessions on finances and talking about money management and managing a budget, whatever that might look like for you, whether you're doing it for a Fortune 500 company one day or for your family. But we want to make sure that you're gaining knowledge in the finances as well while you're here in college. Fourth and final pillar of Anderson is great faith. And we are a Christian institution and very proud of that. Faith is integrated into everything that we do here at Anderson University. I will say, students, that it's not a requirement on the admissions side for students to be Christians. We believe that any student that wants to study within this type of environment should have that opportunity. And so we do welcome all students to come and attend Anderson. Although faith is a very, very important part of who we are as an institution. You can see a couple of the different campus ministries that we offer on campus, from Baptist, BCM to CRU to FCA, RUF, Women's Ministry, and then tons of different mission trip opportunities as well, whether it be during the school year, summer, or even over Christmas break. Campus worship is every Wednesday. So every Wednesday from 10:10 to 11:15, you guys can count on having that hour time blocked off on your schedule. But that is a great time for students, faculty, staff, administrators to come together and to worship as a campus body. And so we look forward to that campus worship experience every Wednesday. And as I wrap with a general overview of Anderson and who we are as an institution, you can see our vision statement there. But quality, innovation, and stewardship, we are committed to those things as an institution to you and your families. And you can see the vision statement there, but we know how important it is to have. I'll point you to the last two words in personal transformation. And I can speak from my own life how transformative college was, and I would say that it will be for you all as well. And so as you're continuing to search for colleges, continue to look for a college that's going to shape you into the individual that you want to become, because it really is going to be an important part of life over this next 4-year time frame, where you'll get new friend groups, as hard as that is to imagine, and have new thoughts and new ideas. But those are things that we are committed to you all as students. I also wanted to mention for anyone that's logged on late, if you do have questions throughout our time, we do have other admission counselors kind of working behind the scenes to answer any questions that you might have along the way. But we are a private Christian liberal arts institution located here in the upstate of South Carolina, about 30 minutes outside of Greenville, about 20 minutes south of Clemson. And so once again, we welcome you guys here. We're now going to show a video of a short campus tour. So enjoy this brief time where you get to see campus. And followed by that, our Associate Director of Admission, Lucas Moore, will join us to talk about our admission process and some scholarships. Y'all enjoy this campus tour.
Hey everybody, my name's Finn.
And I'm Jordan.
And we're students here. You guys to campus today.
All right, let's go.
The Student Center is the hub of student life here on campus. Inside, we have study spaces, recreational areas, as well as a fully functional movie theater.
And also in our Student Center, there are multiple places to eat. Located downstairs, we have our dining commons, and we also have Einstein Brothers Bagels, as well as Chick-fil-A, which are all included on our meal plan.
We're here at Thrift Library, where our students have access to both physical books, as well as over 3 million books and articles through our online database. Recently renovated, we also offer a computer lab, as well as a tutoring center.
And also downstairs in Thrift is where we have our coffee shop, where we serve Starbucks. And there's also a post office for our resident students. We're here at one of our residence halls. And over the last 15 years, we've experienced more than 100% in the growth of our student population.
Within that time frame, we've built 5 new residence halls to account for the growth of the campus. Here at Anderson University, we're home to the South Carolina School of the Arts, housed in this building directly behind me, Rainey Fine Arts Center.
And in Rainey, we have our 2 main auditoriums, Henderson and Daniel, where we have our weekly chapel services as well as performances by the School of the Arts.
Welcome to Abney Athletic Center. This is home to our basketball teams and our volleyball teams. Here at AU, we're a part of NCAA Division II South Atlantic Conference.
We take pride in our sports. We love coming to games all the time. Our student athletes actually have the opportunity to work out at our student facilities, which is just about a block away at our athletic campus. Here at Anderson University, we have 78 majors and concentrations, as well as 12 master's and doctoral degree programs.
In addition to that, we are very highly ranked on U.S. News and World Report, as well as a 3-time Apple Distinguished School. Behind me, we have the Anderson University front lawn. We have a tradition here at AU of hosting our spring graduation on the front lawn.
Also behind us, we have the Anderson University Archway, where freshmen and senior students have the opportunity to walk through the archway, signifying the beginning and end of their journey here at AU.
All right. Welcome, guys. As William said, my name is Lucas Moore. I serve as the Associate Director of Admissions here at AU. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And as William mentioned earlier, we do have admission reps standing by, so keep asking questions as you have them. I want to take a little bit of time with you guys just to walk through the admissions process here at AU, walk through what the application looks like this year in the midst of COVID-19 and things that are required and things that may not be required this go around for you with, the ability to take a certain SAT or ACT. And so we'll unpack that a little bit, just what's required here at AU, what you need to do to finish your application here. But after that, we will jump into scholarships, financial aid. We'll cover federal aid for those of you planning to fill out a FAFSA and submit that over to us. We'll walk through that a little bit as well. And then just really uncover Anderson specific scholarships. So we have merit-based scholarships we'll take a look at along with 2 competitive scholarships that we'll view as well. So the competitive scholarships require an application from you. So let's get started, as I mentioned, with the admissions process. So the application is on our website, and that's simply andersonuniversity.edu. So be sure to go there to access the application itself. The first 3 bullet points will not change regardless of if you are submitting a test or not. Okay, so we have made the decision to go to test optional for the fall 2021. So if you guys are seniors currently, tests are optional in terms of submitting those with your application for fall 2021. So let's walk through a little bit what that means. You will be required to submit an application, the application fee, and your official high school transcript. So for those of you applying, maybe you started an application, you're going to start an application, we will need your official high school transcript sent from your guidance counselor over to Anderson University. Obviously, that's just going to be through your junior year at this point in time. And then we will get a final one when you complete your senior year in the next several months. So from that point, this is where it can change, just depending on if you are going to submit a test score, if you are able to take SAT or ACT or even the CLT, which is the classical learning test. So if you submit a test score to us, an official test score, you do not need to submit the 2 essays that will be on your checklist as items to complete, okay? If you are unable to take a test or you do not submit a test score to us, you will be required to respond to 2 essay prompts that we will provide for you. So that's where it can change a little bit. Everyone will need to turn in the application fee, and the official high school transcript. Those of you that can submit a test score, you were fortunate enough to be able to take one, it hasn't been canceled, go ahead and submit that to us, SAT, ACT, or the CLT, okay? And the CLT is, again, the classical learning test. I know that there are some online opportunities there as well. They'll provide a proctor for you as you take that. We do accept the CLT starting this school year, fall 2021. So you can see the required items, you can see the optional items. Letter recommendation and resume, those are other items that you can submit with your application. Those do not take the place of a test score. Those will not take the place of the essay prompts if you elect to not send a test score and do the essays. However, they are just additional items that you can submit to really just allow our admission committee just to see more about who you are as a person, aside from the classroom, kind of things that you're involved in, outside of school. And so, again, those are completely optional, but other items that you can submit along with your application materials. So that's the application process. When you first get signed on, you'll create login credentials. So you'll create a username and a password. Your username is going to be an existing email that you already have, and then whatever password you would like that to be. Once you complete your application, you'll be set up in what we call your admissions portal. And so you can always sign back into your application, keep up with the status of your application, what we've received, what we're still missing, and those types of things. You can see your major, you can see your admissions counselor's contact information there. If you need to give them a call, reach out via email. All that information is there for you as well. So that is the application. But let's fast forward a little bit. Let's say, okay, well, I've already applied. I've finished up my application. What's next? So acceptance information at Anderson is mailed out to you. So make sure we have a valid mailing address for you so you receive all the information that you need. Again, that'll be mailed out to you. It takes roughly 2 weeks to hear back once you've completed your application with us. We are rolling admissions here at Anderson University. That simply means decisions are going out as applications are being completed. So whatever that last item is that we're waiting on to complete your application, it takes roughly 2 weeks from that point to hear back on an admissions decision. So from that point, we'll fast forward a little bit more and say, okay, I've applied, I've been accepted to Anderson. Now what do I do? What are my next steps in this process? If you decide to attend Anderson University, you'll submit your enrollment fee. Your enrollment fee will go ahead and secure your spot in the freshman class, a fall 21. It will also allow you to begin your next steps in the admissions process here at Anderson, taking care of those last few items prior to enrollment here at AU. And so if you live on campus, if you are a resident student, your enrollment fee will serve as your housing deposit. And so that'll go ahead and allow you to start doing your housing application. And the preference in terms of what your top housing choices are, preference is decided based off the date that your enrollment fee was received. So it is better to turn it in sooner rather than later. With that said, we don't want students to feel pressure to rush to turn that in. So if you're still weighing your options, that's totally fine. Take the time that you need, ask all the questions you need to ask, do the research you need to do before coming to that decision. I always tell students, you know, if you're 85, 90% sure Anderson is where you want to attend, go ahead and submit that to us. But if you're still weighing options after acceptance, that's okay as well. Now, if you are a commuting student, that $250 will essentially just come off of whatever you owe for that fall semester. So it isn't a wasted fee of any type. It will count towards something, again, housing deposit, or as essentially a payment applied to your fall tuition. So do know that with the enrollment fee, again, we try to make the application process as straightforward as possible. So it's application, acceptance, enrollment fee in that order. Let's take a look now at just some overall financial aid that you can qualify for here at AU. We're going to start with federal aid. So for those of you going to submit a FAFSA, that will actually open October 1st. So that is this week. You can begin working on the 21-22 FAFSA. So again, that is fall 21, spring 22. Some different things that you can qualify for through FAFSA. We'll start with the federal Pell grant. This is a need-based grant that goes up to $63.45 a year that students can receive. Grants and scholarships do not require repayment. That's the free money, like we say. That does not require repayment of any sort. And so if you qualify for that, it'll be listed on your financial aid letter that you receive from our financial services office. Moving on to number 2, the federal direct loan. This is a loan that is actually in the student's name with a 2.75% interest rate. And so that is something you can qualify for as well. Number 3 is the Parent Plus loan. So this is a loan that the parent or legal guardian can apply for to try to apply any additional financial aid to overall cost if they so choose. Completely optional if you want to do it, but it is available for parents or legal guardians to apply for your standard loan application, and then FAFSA will determine the amount that from the information you provide. Lastly, number 4 is a federal work study. So if you wanted to work here on campus, you can do so. It's up to 20 hours a week that students can work here on campus. We have job opportunities really all across campus and in various departments here. We even have our own work studies at Anderson as well. So if you don't qualify for a federal work study, that doesn't necessarily eliminate you from ever being able to work here on campus. As I mentioned, we do have our own work studies through Anderson University that are funded through Anderson University. That is federal aid, however. That is all financial aid that you can qualify for federally. You'll submit a FAFSA each and every year that you are in college. So just take note of that as well. As we transition now into Anderson-specific scholarships, let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail. Every single accepted student here at AU will get one of these items. And the item just depends on the GPA, test score, or class rank. So students have to have the GPA. That is a requirement. And then whatever you have next is really kind of up to you. If you submit a test score, you can qualify based off your GPA and the test score. or you can qualify based off of your GPA and your class rank. And we'll have your class rank when you submit your high school transcript to us. So if you're able to submit a test score and your high school transcript comes in as well, and you might say, okay, well, my test score gets me at one level, but the class rank has me at another level. We will do whatever serves the student best in terms of the award amount. So we'll give you whatever highest amount you qualify for. Again, maybe your class rank has you at a lower level, but your test score has you at a higher level with your GPA. We'll give the student whatever they qualify for in the highest amount. So that ranges anywhere from $6,000 to $15,000. You will take note of the President's Scholarship. You do need to submit a test score to qualify for the President's Scholarship at $15,000 a year. You need to have a 3.5 GPA with one of those 3 scores to go with it. These are renewable scholarships. That simply means they're going to carry over with you each and every year. You do not have to apply for these scholarships. These are automatic based off of your high school credentials and your test scores if you are able to submit a test score to us. We will super score your SAT as well. So if you're using the SAT to qualify for a certain scholarship, we will take the highest composite score. So say you take the SAT 3 or 4 times. If you're lucky enough to do that, fortunate enough to do that, we'll take your highest math score and then your highest reading score, regardless of which test that comes from, and get your overall composite score to award you on these scholarships here. So do know that for the SAT, if that is the test that you are submitting to us. Now, we don't have a preference. Submit whatever test you would like, SAT, ACT, or as I mentioned, we are accepting the CLT this school year as well. All right, let's take a look now at our Denmark Scholarship. So the Denmark Scholarship is a competitive scholarship, meaning this isn't automatically awarded based off of your merit, your test scores, your GPA. Those are requirements to be eligible to apply, but what will really set you apart is the essay response that you provide, and that is a requirement to apply for this scholarship. So the Denmark Scholarship goes up to $3,000 a year. You see the minimum requirements there to be eligible to apply, the 3.0 GPA, and then one of those test scores, one of the 3. And so competitive scholarship, again, there's an essay prompt that we will provide for you, and you'll type up your response and submit that to us, again, through your admissions portal. So this will show up as a checklist item for you to complete. You need to do this by February 1st. And so those of you that are maybe juniors listening in or even younger, February 1st will be that deadline, year in and year out. Those of you that are seniors now, that'll be here in the next few months, that you'll need to submit your application for the Denmark Scholarship. So if you're eligible for this, be sure to go ahead and apply for admission, submit your test scores to us, get those materials in to us, get that information in, so then you can get moving through the admissions process and then have time to submit your application to the Denmark Scholarship. You only apply once. Whatever you receive your freshman year, if you receive a portion of this, is good for all 4 years as long as you are in good academic standing with us and a full-time student with us here at AU. So this carries over year in and year out, that you can stack any amount here with your merit aid that we just looked at, along with your federal aid as well. So you start building that financial aid to get an overall financial aid award package. If you're an in-state student, if you're a South Carolina student, you have your state scholarships as well that you can use, in addition to a Denmark Scholarship or our merit-based scholarships, or the federal aid as well. So lastly, let's take a look at our Presidential Fellows Scholarship. So this is a large scholarship competition that we do each and every year. You see the requirements. You do need to be Palmetto Fellows eligible. So it's the GPA, 3.5 GPA with a 1200 SAT, 27 ACT, or 82 CLT. So we are accepting a CLT in addition to SAT or ACT if that is the one that you submit. You do need to be top 6% class ranking as well. This is a competitive scholarship. That simply means there's, again, more to this than just your merit. You'll submit 2 letters of recommendations here. There's 2 essay responses. A resume is required, and then there is an interview component to this as well. So that is essentially the application and scholarship process. When you come to campus, if you make it to that round, it is more than simply an interview. There's a lot of things going on that day. We make it really like a scholarship day where there's a lot of things going on aside from just simply interviewing and then going home. We really plan a whole visit around that. And so if you receive this scholarship, it's a full tuition scholarship. Worst case, best case is full tuition, room and board. Okay, so it can be any version of that, full tuition or full tuition, room and board. And if you receive this scholarship, you need to maintain 30 credit hours per academic year. That is a standard full-time college schedule. you'll probably do 30 credit hours regardless of the scholarship. So 30 hours is essentially 5 classes a semester. And then you need to maintain a 3.0 GPA. So that's a B average, maintain a 3.0 here at Anderson, keep 30 hours a year. And then this deadline is a little earlier. So those of you that are seniors, be sure to get your materials in so you have time to apply. This is a December 1st deadline on this scholarship, Presidential Fellows. And that'll remain the same for those of you even younger, junior level, sophomore level that may be here tonight. December 1st will be that deadline. So with that, just wanted to kind of show you guys the different scholarship opportunities here at AU. We do offer a lot when it comes to financial aid, in addition to any federal aid you might be receiving as well. So I want you guys to hear from Beth Beckner, our assistant director of admission here at AU. So I want you guys to be able to hear from her. Beth is also an alum of AU, so she has just great insight on what it means to even be a student here at Anderson, what that and what the Anderson life looks like, what that process looks like through the admissions process, and what student life is all about here at AU. So I want you guys to take in this video first. Wanted to let it buffer a little bit so you guys could hear it well. And so then after that, you'll hear from Beth Beckner. Again, keep your questions coming as we do have admission reps standing by to help answer those.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. As you may have heard, my name is Beth Beckner, and I serve as our admissions counselor for the School of the Arts specifically. I'm originally from Alabama and came to Anderson University as a student and got to be really involved, really enjoyed my season here, and immediately started working on staff. I just could not get away. So I have the privilege to talk about this slide here, just kind of giving you a feel for what it's like to be a student at AU. So some of my favorite things here on this slide that you'll see is some of the AU traditions. Obviously, as an alumni, I take a lot of pride in these different traditions and I enjoy them every year. You'll see there the cookies, that really happens. The president's wife actually will hand bake cookies and bring them to each student's dorm room. It was something we all look forward to when it always happens right when you're stressed out for finals and super busy. So it's a nice little way that Anderson's leadership shows hospitality, which I always appreciated. Another thing is the activities. Our student activities department is truly incredible. There was always something going on. If it wasn't on your call with your RA or with your RD, there was something with campus ministries going on. There was an athletic event. There was something that you could get involved in, a CEP credit. Some of my favorite student activities events was where we had headphones and all the music came through headphones, so it was like a dance, but it was really silent. So there was just headphones and everybody was hearing the same thing, but you weren't actually, the actual room stayed quiet, which was great on campus. Another thing that you've heard about earlier is the 411. So every week, just a way to continue to help students get involved with what's going on campus. Is that 411 event that has Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every day of the week listed out for you and what events are going on each day. So that's really, really helpful because you get busy with school and you don't have time, you forget what's going on. So to have that reminder where you can say, okay, well, tonight I'm going to go to this event. Another one of those that I always looked forward to was the Take 5. So they still do that about every other week, 2 or 3 times a semester, where they'll have a Take 5 event. And sometimes it's pancake night. Sometimes it's grocery bingo. Sometimes it's a scavenger hunt. They'll hide Easter eggs around the campus and you'll win prizes, all different kinds of things. And it's just a really, really good way to stay involved, see what's going on. If you also just saw in that video, there was a couple big events that we have each year. One of probably the most common is what we call the West Fest. So the first week that new prospective students come on campus, you actually get a huge event every single day, just to make sure, you just went to college, and that can definitely be scary. So we want to make sure that you're staying involved with the campus life. So West Fest is great. They have a mechanical bull. They have a lot of line dancing. I may be from Alabama, but I did not know many line dances. But after West Fest, I knew probably more than I ever needed to know. So it's a really fun event. Everyone shows up in their best plaid wardrobe that they could possibly find, and you will not find that anywhere in Anderson town because it's all bought out for the West Fest. So we also have a beach bash that's also held on the President's Lawn, which is also a very popular event that students will come and be a part of. So I really loved being a student. I hope you guys come and visit us. Most of our visit days we try to tie in with some of these events. And so I think that that's the best way to get a feel for the community and the atmosphere that Anderson cultivates. It really is unlike anything else I saw when I was looking at schools. And it's part of the reason that I wanted to stay and work here. I said, there's something different about this place. And so please don't take my word for it. Come on campus, do a visit, and hopefully get to experience one of these things as well. So moving forward, I wanted to get back to our director who you heard from at the beginning, William Montz, who's actually going to talk to us about some of the athletic side of the different events and things that happen on campus. So once again, I look forward to seeing you guys on campus. My name is Laura Beth Beckner.
All right, so let's touch on athletics just a little bit. We are NCAA Division II, part of the South Atlantic Conference. You can see our colors are black and gold. And we are the AU Trojans. So you'll hear a lot about the Trojan family as you are going through our admission process. You can see our sports listed there, lots of men's and women's sports here at Anderson. I do want to point you to 2 sports there on the right. Lacrosse, that is a new sport here at Anderson. The inaugural lacrosse season starts actually this year. For men's lacrosse, looking to add women at a later date. And then a recent announcement that Anderson University will be adding football. So we are pumped about that. The city of Anderson is excited to be getting a football here in Anderson. And that'll be in 2024. So potentially looking to hire a football coach this year. Looking at an exhibition season for 2023, and then 2024 would be the first official football season for Anderson University. So you guys check out this video, and then we will spend a little bit of time answering any questions here towards the end.
There is no quick and easy solution. We must look to long days ahead, which, if we are courageous, can bring us what we all desire.
United, there is little we cannot do. Divided, there is little we can do. For we dare not meet a powerful challenge at odds. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it.
All right, so go Trojans. And just an unbelievable athletic culture that we have here too at Anderson within our athletic sports teams. Well, that pretty much does it for our presentation for you guys. You can see here this last slide with contact information, our different counselors that serve the various areas. Our counselors are separated by major, and so depending on what you put on your application will be the counselor that you will work with in our admission process. And if you are undecided, we do have a counselor that works with students who are not quite sure yet. Her name is Maddie Carter, but we do have a specific counselor for you as well. I also wanted to touch on visit opportunities and a couple meet and greet sessions. So Anderson we are offering on-campus visits currently. For campus visits, which are a little bit smaller, we have first glance opportunities, and normally those are on Fridays. Those are a little bit longer visit opportunities. We also have an all access event coming up in November, and then we'll have some more events in the spring as well. We are also moving throughout the state of South Carolina with some meet and greet events. And so you may or may not have heard about these. We have locations set in the Charleston area, in Florence. We are also looking at locations in Myrtle Beach, Aiken, Augusta area, Columbia, and Rock Hill. And then we will make our way back to Greenville and, of course, the upstate here in Anderson. So be on the lookout for some of those meet and greet sessions. But we would love to have you on campus and see this place that we call home here at AU. So let's see how we're doing on time. Might have room for a question or two. Just remember, our staff has been on standby with any questions that you might have. Let's see. Beth, one of the questions talks about music. Are they able to send in an electronic audition? Beth, would you want to answer that?
Yes, we are doing some of both. However, we would prefer in-person auditions, as it does change a little bit if things are online. As we know, can be many technical difficulties, so we would prefer in-person auditions. However, we definitely can do video or electronic auditions as well. You would just sign up for a normal audition and put that in the notes section. I also saw a question in there about licensure for the music education program. Music ed and art ed does fall under the School of the Arts, which is something a little different about Anderson. A lot of times it falls under the College of Education. So it does fall under the School of the Arts, and it does end in licensure.
Great, thank you. Last question. Someone asked if we had any COVID cases. Yes, we have. And we've got a website that is dedicated to all things COVID here at Anderson. It's called Journey Ahead. You can go to our website and see that. And it's got live updates of the current cases that are on our campus. However, we are taking all the precautions necessary to ensure that our students, faculty, staff are all staying safe and healthy. And so far, we've been able to have success with running in-person classes. So, all right, I believe CACRAO may take it over here to close you guys out. For the last two questions, we'll make sure that those get answered here in the chat. With that, CACRAO, do you guys have anything to close it out?
All right, guys. Thank y'all for joining this college session. After this session closes, you will be asked to take a survey. You'll be able to sign up for more sessions on CACRAO.org. And also, if you want to revisit this session, you'll also be able to see it on CACRAO.org. But yeah, make sure y'all reach out to those counselors and ask me any questions. Thank y'all. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.